Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today's finally the day where I'm going to be using my Colourpop New Moon eyeshadow palette. Do I know what I'm going to do with these shadows? Like what type of look I'm going for? No, not at all. Not a clue. But I think we can figure something out. I'm really leaning into the like dark red and then the bronze and then the gold. So is it gonna be sort of like a sunsetty type of look? Possibly. We shall see what happens. I haven't used this palette with the exception of this shadow which is in my Panda's eyeshadows. I've used that once or twice, so not really a whole lot. The rest I haven't touched, so I'm very excited to see how these perform and what I can do with this. Yeah, I just love New Moon, and I love a warm color story, so I'm very excited for this. And I'm just gonna chat, I guess, about whatever, anything, who knows. I've already primed my lids. I need a mirror, so let's put that. It's a mess here right now. My desk is filled, but oh well. So I've primed and set my lids. I am wearing a little ponytail, and I never really do that on camera because it looks like I'm a bald egg, and I have these weird little banana hairs sticking out. But you know what? I was getting really upset by my hair. It was very overstimulating, so I pulled it all back. Yeah, let's not look at it. So what is my plan? I don't have a plan. I'm just gonna go for it, I guess. I think I want to do the darker red in my outer corner, so I'm gonna put the dark sort of brownie matte down first and then work from there. Okay, that is a nice color. I like that. Not too red, actually. So that would be a good base, I think. As always, don't expect great makeup looks from me. I just go with the flow, do whatever, and hope for the best. That is my style. And I don't know if this is gonna come out okay. I've been feeling a little bit meh lately. I sort of know where it's coming from. We're not gonna talk about that because that is a topic that I'm not really comfortable sharing on the internet just yet. It's nothing to worry about. Like, I'm fine. I know where it came from. I know it's because of what I did myself. I had a great time, but I know the come down of it isn't the most fun. So there's just 1 or 2 days where I feel a little less like myself and not too happy. Today is also very gloomy, so that doesn't help. Normally when the sun is out I can handle it a little bit better, but today's not that day, so it's a gloomy day and I'm gonna have to deal with the feelings of not really feeling happy, but we'll get there. So we put that color down. I think I'm gonna go in with the sort of yellow brown right there. Wow, see, the quality is already there. I'm pointing at the color that I'm using with my other palette that I'm using the mirror of. Great. So I'm gonna concentrate that in the inner part of my crease and then work it outwards. So what's also not really been helping is, do you know how a while ago when I did Get Ready With Me, I was talking about my New Year's resolutions and how I wanted to stop spending as much time on social media. It's not working. Like, I deleted the Facebook app off my phone, so that helped. I've not been missing that at all, so that is good. I also deleted quite a few of my old Facebook posts because I know that people say that once you put something on the internet, it's there forever. So maybe it didn't help at all because it was already on the internet, but I felt like if people find my Facebook now, it has very, very limited information and posts, and that just made me feel a little bit more comfortable. So I did that, and then I deleted the app off of my phone. So I am never on Facebook anymore, and that makes me very happy. That's a step in the right direction. But the main culprit definitely still is TikTok. And I scroll on TikTok and time flies by. It's crazy. But the thing is, TikTok also has brought me some very lovely insights, and it gives me fun ideas. Like, I see a lot of posts about places to visit and even events that are coming up that I wouldn't have known of if I wouldn't have seen that TikTok. So it's difficult. I don't really know what to do because I clearly cannot control the amount of time that I'm scrolling on TikTok. So I should, all in all, just delete the app, but then I also feel like I would miss out. I'm not saying that's a very bad thing, but it would be a shame for some events or things. Okay. Wait a minute before I go into the rant. I think I'm gonna put this on like the outer part over that matte, then do this in the middle, and then go into that one. I think that's my plan. I'm gonna apply these with my fingers because I feel like that would work best. That is not a very shimmery shimmer. That's more of a satiny shimmer, so I think that will work good over top of the matte that we put down. That is not very in your face, but I expected that looking at the consistency of that shadow kind of gives it away. So I think my plan will still work. It's not a bad shade. I just love my very flaky, shiny shimmers, and this is not it. But oh well, it's a base, I guess, for something. Okay, so something that TikTok has, I don't want to say pushed upon me because I built my For You page brick by brick, let's be real. But I saw this sort of advert for the app Quinn. Am I in focus? Here we go. And they were releasing a new series, and they had Jamie Campbell Bower voice that, like, narrate it. And that man has a good voice. Let me tell you, do you know Jamie Campbell Bower? I know him from, is it Sweeney Todd? Or the other one? I think it's Sweeney Todd. I don't know. And that's a musical movie, if you know. Seen him in that. Then of course he was very briefly in Harry Potter. And what was that series? I know Lily Collins was in there as well. Mortal Instruments or something like that. God, he was hot in that series. They cancelled it, or there was going to be a second part, but they didn't continue doing that. I'm not really sure. It was a long time ago that I watched that, but safe to say this man is a good looking, and I like his voice. It's quite raspy, has a little bit of that voice fry, but in a good way. So I saw that sort of advert of Quinn doing like, oh, he's gonna narrate this series, and it looked interesting, and the comments were, people were excited. I'm gonna go in with the lightest shimmer, by the way. Just right there. Ooh, that is a pretty one. That is very pretty. Oh, wow. Ooh, I love that. So I waited it out. I was like, okay, don't really know what this is, but we shall see. And then there were people who were uploading little audio snippets of what he was narrating, and I was like, oh, so it's not just an audiobook. That's spicy audio. I'm not really sure, but it made me download the app because I wasn't really interested in what was going on. And I just listened to the first part yesterday. It's like a 40-minute something episode, and that was good. And then I sort of very briefly scrolled through the app and was like, this is interesting. I don't know, is this TMI? I don't know. I really do like sort of spicy reading, do you want to call it that? And then I don't mean the 50 Shades of Grey, because I've read pieces of that. That was just badly written. But like good written spicy books, I love them. I have spent my younger years reading so much fan fiction, and that, well, that was something. I'm gonna put some white. Wait, I'm gonna sharpen this pencil first, because that's not really white anymore. And I'm gonna put some white pencil in my inner corner while I think about what to do with my lower lash line. But yeah, those fanfics that I read, that was spicy, and I loved that. So finding this, I'm so excited to listen to the next part. It's like magic, sort of magic based. I'm not really sure exactly. There's like this trial where people are gonna try and get into some sort of an order, or like a club if you want to, and they'll have to figure out clues. Not really sure. Doesn't really matter. Like one episode in, I cannot really tell you what it's about, but I can tell you that I enjoyed listening to it, and that it also made me excited for the next part. So there's that. That's just something that TikTok brought me that I'm so grateful for. Because if I didn't have TikTok, I wouldn't even know that that existed. So there's that. And then it also got me thinking what people I would want to narrate stories like that. And just to stay in the Twilight New Moon vibes of this video, Robert Pattinson, I would die. There's that. I would die if he would narrate something like that. I need a sip of water. Just thinking about that alone. So who would you, if you're interested in that, like no shame if you aren't, and definitely no shame if you are, because I think that's, I don't know, I feel like it's looked down upon sometimes because It's like, ooh, that's spicy audio, or that's sexy, and it feels like sort of a sin sometimes, or people put it as being a sin, which is stupid, because why wouldn't you want to enjoy that? But anyway, if you're into that, or you're open to that, who would be someone who just has a good voice for doing things like that? Or, I don't know, who would you just like to listen to telling you things like, oh, who's my good girl? You know, those types of things. I mean, for me, it would be Robert Pattinson, definitely. I think Orlando Bloom would also be a good candidate. I don't know. Tell me. I'm excited. Ooh, the sun's kind of come out ever so slightly. It's gonna wash me out. I don't know what to do with my lower lash line while I'm just swooning about the idea of Robert Pattinson narrating a story. Let's see. I also have the brown Creme gel liner, so I think I'm gonna put that in my lower lash line. Am I? Yeah, let's just go for it. I haven't used this yet, so I want to see what it does. I have the blue one, the Prance one. I don't know if this is too dark for me, because I normally never really wear dark a liner on my waterline. Ooh, I'm getting really washed out. I'm sorry, guys. What is this lighting situation? Okay, so put it in my waterline. I think I'm just gonna darken that, just kind of smoke that out, and then put some kind of a shimmer on top. Is that the plan? That is now the plan. So I'm gonna take the darkest brown. I don't know if you can see this, guys, but there's definitely some kind of a leftover color from something I did yesterday on that brush. This kind of makes me feel very piratey. I don't know, just not used to having smoky lower lash line. And then I think I'm also gonna add the black as a liner, because I feel like that would balance out the smokiness of the lower lash line. Okay, I did a little bit of black shadow as a liner from that palette on my top, on my lid. I moved away from the window ever so slightly and closed the curtain a little bit so that I can see a little bit better. We're gonna do an inner corner highlight. So there's one inner corner highlight in here. It is a little yellow based, and I do prefer a more white shimmery inner corner, but just for the sake of this video and using this palette, we're gonna use that inner corner shade, and I'm putting it on top of that white pencil, so it does lighten that shadow ever so slightly. I think on its own it would be very yellow heavy. So there's that. And then for the lower lash, I'm debating, I think that's more of a glitter, this one, but it is nice and bright. But we also have this one, so I think I'm just gonna put this and then maybe top it with the sort of lighter glittery one. I don't know if that's gonna work, but we are gonna find out together. Where is my brush? It's here. Once again, my story has completely stopped. Oh. Do you see that? I just I just put it on my face. Let's try again. Oh, I really like that. So it's still dark and smoky, but with a slight like shimmer. I love that. I feel like a bad bitch. Honestly, giving myself something like a smoky eye or this like dark lower lash line makes me feel so badass. Because I never wear that. Ever. Ooh. Like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna just dip my brush into that glittery one. See what happens. Okay, that's very flaky. Ever so slightly on the inner part. Doesn't really do much. It just gives me a little bit of a speckle of glitter. And then there's that. I'm gonna clean up and I will be right back. This mascara, the Essence Lash Princess. I've heard so many people rave about this. And it just, I cannot get it to work for me at all. It is so weird and sort of sticky. And then I thought, well, maybe after like a week or two, it will dry a bit. And now my lashes just sort of clump together. Even though I put like the tiniest bit on, and I bought it on like a sale. So I have another tube of this. So not excited. Ugh. I'm gonna have to get my favorite mascara back really quick because I know this one's not for me. But anyway, mascara is on. I've cleaned up. Do you have like the best tip for cleaning up eyeshadow fallout? Because I don't do foundation ever, and I have like these makeup wipes that sort of take off some fallout. I also usually use a little bit of washi tape or just tape to kind of pick up the fallout, but I just keep having glitters under my eyes, and because I don't put foundation over it, I've just sort of had to accept that I just have glitter on my face at all times. I also don't know what my voice is doing. Anyway, if you have any tips for that, feel free. So this is the look. I especially love the lower lash line. I cannot stop looking at it. It is dark, and I know it sort of kind of gives me smaller eyes, but I think it works especially with like the warm orangey tones, because that really works with my blue eyes. I think it's very nice. So I'm gonna do some blush too. I do have sort of an orangey blush that I've been using lately. Is it the best match for this look? I don't know. But to be honest, if I wear blush, it's just whatever I want. I don't really take into consideration if it will work with an eye look or something. I just put on my face what I want to put on my face, basically. So there's that, just a light dusting. Don't know why I said it like that. I also have sort of an orange highlight, but I think I'm gonna go for this one. That one is very well loved, as you can see. Massive pan. I love it so much. So we're gonna put that on. There's that. And then for lips, okay, again, I'm not good at this, like figuring out what shade would look good with this eye look, but I have some of the NYX butter glosses. Maybe one of those would work. One of these. I feel like I could do a darker brown one, but I also have this is a new lip gloss. This is the Made by Mitchell Beam Sugared Lip Gloss in the shade Sugar Cookies, and it's kind of an orangey one. So would that go with this, or would that be too much? I don't know. We're just gonna go for it. I don't even know. I haven't used this at all. I don't know how pigmented this is. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so that's kind of dark orange, but I feel like just mostly very shiny. I think that goes. And I mean, if it doesn't go, then, well, there's that. It's already on my face. So, here is the finished look. Oh, I like this a lot. Yeah, okay, it took me some time to get started on this palette to film this video, but I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this because these colors are just my colors. I love them so much. Okay, so there's that. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in one of my next ones. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.